Okay, good morning, people. So this is the next video to finish Unit 1. So I am going to start right away. I hope that you can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen. I hope that you can see that. Yesterday I showed you a page where I had a mistake. So I wanted to include that page here. That is this one. And I explained yesterday that the sentence number one, it is describing an action that happened before a person broke a window. That is the action break. So we are using the verb break in past. And this here um, is where I had the mistake. So the sentence number two, the sentence describes the status, the condition of the window. So remember, when we are describing something, we use adjectives. So broken is an adjective in this case. Is that. Okay, so I am going to continue with the lesson B of Unit 1. Here we have a vocabulary. Remember that I said that I am not going to work with vocabulary, but that is from Unit 2 and 3. Okay, I have to finish this vocabulary because you don't have more information about this vocabulary. So I sent you yesterday the vocabularies from Units 2 and 3, but you don't have more information about vocabulary Unit 1. So what I have here is the first phrase is private life. So what do you understand for private life? Private life is like the normal life you have, right? The normal life that the public or many people don't know about. For example, when in this case we are talking about famous people. So famous people, they do have private life, but most of the things that they do are public because we know about those things. So private life is when you have a life that not many people know about those things that you do. Okay. So no one else's business is like the phrase that they have here. The phrase that they have here is sorry. For example, my private life is my own. What I do in my free time is no one else's business. So nobody um, cares about that, or you don't want that anybody else but you know about that. If I say no one else's business, it's because it's only my business what I do. So you don't want to, or you don't have to investigate about what I do. Okay. Public figures, as I said, famous people are public figures. Famous people, artists, singers, actors, actresses. Um, I don't know. The people that are famous or popular are public figures. The general public is the same, no, or is the opposite of private life. So when you say the general public, is like when you do something, um, when you do something that many people know, or the general public is also we could say that they are referring to not public figures, not famous people. The general public is you and I, okay, students, your family. These are the general public. Okay, so in public, what is that? In public is when you do something that is not private. For example, what you do in your house is private, but when you do outside or in front of many people, that is in public. When you say have any privacy or have privacy, is when you do the things that another people don't know, or you don't want to another people know about what you're doing. So when they say celebrities never have any privacy, it's because if imagine that you see Brad Pitt on the street, You want to take a picture with that with him. Okay, so it's like um, we are doing things that we are like I don't remember the phrase, but we are not respecting this person's private life, this person's privacy. So that is why most of the famous people don't have any privacy. Okay, so here we have movie stars like all people have certain rights. You know what is rights? For example, all of us, we have rights. For example, children have the rights of having a family. They have the right of having an education. We have the right in our job. We have the right of have days of uh, like weekends to rest. So also famous people have rights. I don't think I don't think that they have the same right that we have or that we do because we have the right of our privacy. But as they are famous people, very well-known people, most of the time we don't respect their privacy. That that is the right. Disturb, when you say disturb, is to bother another person. The same example, if you see Brad Pitt on the street, you want to take a picture, so you are disturbing that person. You are maybe that person wants to have lunch, maybe that person wants to watch a movie, maybe that person wants to be quiet in a park, but you disturb that person, asking that person to take a picture with you. So that is to bother, to disturb. If you have any question about this vocabulary, you can make the question in the group or by Gmail, or you can search those words or phrases on Google so to for you to have more information. But I think that that vocabulary is pretty clear. Okay, so the lesson B grammar is giving permission and expressing prohibition. This is a little bit not too difficult because we have worked before with can, can't, mustn't, have to, don't have to. So you know these models. They are not difficult at all. So do you know how to use modal verbs to talk about permission and obligation? Well, look at these examples to see how how these models are used. So these are examples for you to notice how or when to use sorry, these models. I am going to give you more information about these models here. Okay, this is what you have in the grammar. Um, Giving permission and expressing prohibition. As you see here, we are using the verb to be. We are using the verb to be, and also we are using the modal can't. Okay, in the first part that we have the verb to be, this is the constructor, the structure of these sentences when you are giving permission or expressing prohibition. When you say you are giving permission to a person. You are allowed to park here. You are allowed to eat in the classroom. You are allowed to listen to music while I teach. You are allowed to go to the beach, I don't know, with your pets, with your dog, with your cat. Okay, so I am giving you the permission. But if I say you aren't allowed, you aren't permitted, you aren't supposed to, I am expressing a prohibition. Okay, so remember when I say you are in positive, you are allowed to park here, you are permitted to park here, you are supposed to park here, I am expressing permission. Okay, but if I say negative, you aren't allowed to park here. You aren't permitted to park here. You aren't supposed to park here. I am expressing prohibition. You aren't supposed to speak Spanish in my class. You are not allowed to use your cell phone in class. You aren't permitted to eat in the classroom. Okay, so in that case, you are using the verb to be um, plus, okay, always plus allowed or permitted or supposed to. Okay, in a sentence, I am going to use only one of these. I cannot say you are allowed, permitted, supposed to park here. No, I am going to use only one. One, whatever you want, anyone that you want, but only one. Okay. And here we're using a modal. Okay, before I showed you the modals. Oh, sorry, I showed you the modals must and have to or all of those, but they are using here only the verb to be and the modal can or can't. Okay, so in this case, I'm using you can't park here or you can, right? Positive, you can park here. You can um, take the exam tomorrow. The exam is today, but you can take the exam tomorrow. So I'm giving you the permission of taking the exam tomorrow, right? Another way to express permission in prohibition is this structure. No plus gerund plus the verb to be plus allowed or permitted plus the complement of the sentence. Example, obviously I am using the negative in here. That is why I have two examples. One is using the negative here with the verb to be, and the other is using the negation first and not using negative or other words here. Okay, so let me change the color. So here I can say talking, right, Jaron, talking is not allowed during the test. Talking isn't allowed during the test. Okay, that is, I am showing you prohibition. But also I could say um, texting is allowed during the test. So I am giving you the permission of texting in my class. Okay, those, remember, those are examples. You know that is not permitted in the class, but those are examples. Eating is allowed in the park. Taking your pets to the beach is allowed. Okay, so remember, when the sentence is positive, I am telling you, I am giving you permission. But when the sentence is in negative, isn't or is not, I am giving you or I am prohibiting something. Okay, so when you say, for example, no at the beginning, not talking during the test, not eating in the classroom, not listening to music in my class, no speaking English, no speaking Spanish in the class. Okay, so those are different ways that you can use to express permission and prohibition. Okay, for me, the easier could be this one. I could use not talking, not plus ing, not talking, not speaking, not listening, not eating in the classroom, not jumping in the ground. Okay, this is the easier for me. Okay, let me show you more. And here you are using can, can't, must, or must not. Okay, the same thing here with the verb to be. You are not allowed. You are not supposed to park here. You are allowed to park here. You are allowed to use your cell phone in class. You are allowed to ask to your partners during the test. You aren't supposed to ask to your partners during the test. You aren't permitted to cheat on a test. You can, okay, with the modals here, You can park here. You can't park here. You must park here. You must not or you mustn't park here. So when we use can or can't, this is like not too rough, but when we use must or mustn't, this is stronger. Okay, you must park here. You mustn't park here. That is like orders, okay, or commands. So I am going to read the rules that you have here. Use not, be allowed, or be allowed, permitted to, or can to give or deny permission to do something. Use be supposed to say that someone is expected to do something. Not be supposed to, sorry, here means that you are not allowed to do something. You are not supposed to speak Spanish in my class. Use must or must not, mustn't for formal rules, okay? Formal rules and warnings. It is more common to use can or can for prohibition in normal spoken English. You can't do this. You can't do that. But when it's more formal, you use must or must not, mustn't. I think this grammar is very easy because we normally use this grammar when we are speaking, even if we are in basics English, right? So, but if you have any question about this part, you can ask me through WhatsApp or via Gmail. Here you have more explanation. As you remember, we are only using the verb to be, can or must, but here I give you more examples, okay? So when you are expressing permission, you can use can, could, or may. When you are expressing prohibition, you can use can't or mustn't. When you are expressing obligation, you can use have to or must. And when you are expressing no obligation, don't have to. Okay, the writing section. Yesterday, I sent you an activity about a composition practice. That is a writing section too. One of the topic was to talk about something that another person does that bothers you. Here, you can have an example of this topic. When somebody does something that bothers you, you don't like that that person does something in front of you. So when they say I hate it when people talk loudly, that means that you don't like that. Okay, that bothers you. So you can use this example to complete that topic that I sent you yesterday. And here is like here you have all the vocabularies and speaking strategies. So I think I finished with this video right now. Later, I am going to send you another video with the unit 2. Remember that I am going to explain only the grammar and the useful expressions. I am not going to explain vocabulary. Okay, so see you later, people.